No problem.
There we go. Go ahead, buddy. Well, let me start that again. Welcome, everybody, to the call. We're here for the next 6 months kickoff for Nikken. The convention just happens to be at the end of it, but really this is a golden time for Nikken, and some amazing things are happening. I see this as our red zone from Orlando to San Antonio. We're with tonight some folks that are absolutely outstanding Nikken leaders from all over the world, and just going to share their information with us. I'll give the quick overview of the event details, but we're just really glad you're here because I think everybody on this call is pivotal in the pivoting of Nikken towards the next billions we're about to do. So it is a very big time in history for us all to make history, write history, and be history, and to turn Nikken into the company that we choose for it to be. And William, you've all the vision that you've had for events over the years and things going on. What do you see first in the next 6 months? And then what's your best take on how to maximize this opportunity for everybody, man?
Thank you, Rick, for having me on the call. I would have to say that what I see happening more so than ever before at this particular point of Nikken is I've never seen more people call me within days of booking a 5-block and having people already committed to go. I mean, it's crazy. I was telling Mike earlier before the call got started that usually there is a little bit of a panic of a few months out, but this is like a long ways out, and people are already getting commitments for their 5-block, going for a second 5-block. So I guess the question is why. That would be the first answer that I'd want to ask, and that is because everything has a timing window. Repetition is the key to retention. We know that's the master key, and what we've seen here more so than ever in just recent weeks in Orlando and recent months with the changes of Nikken is I think that San Antonio is about ready to be booked as the guest event of our history. I think we're going to, for the first time in a long time, see potentially more guests or brand new members joining us, whereas we had a whole bunch of people looking just to celebrate for their achievements. So there's something, really happening. And I used the analogy once before that whenever the two things collide, which I believe is the network marketing and the customer-centric focus, that's whenever companies go to the billion-dollar stages. And I think that we're starting to feel the tremors, and October will be the earthquake.
Nice. Well said, man. It's interesting you say that. People are booking more because they're already full, and it's interesting. They're not putting their silvers and their seniors on it. It's like new people. It's really interesting to see in 1 year, because remember last year you got your 100-block right away. Isn't it interesting? The trajectory of it's so different this year than it was last year already, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Mike, you're a guy too. I'm going to get into the mechanics of it here in a second, but you're huge on the rhythm and using events as leaping points. What do you see in terms of just the importance of from Orlando to San Antonio? It's huge, and what's one of your core issues is the rhythm of the business, isn't it?
I would say that everything between now and San Antonio is an opportunity to recruit for San Antonio. So why would I say that? My experience has been that anybody who comes out an event like either the Orlando event or an event like San Antonio, particularly San Antonio because of what it's lining up to be, they'll go silver within 60 days. Within 60 days, there'll be 85% conversion of those who are serious about the business. And so when you consider how many people will break ranks because of that, you want to have as many people in that situation as possible. So I just look at all the events leading up to that event is the opportunity to recruit to that event so that we can experience the most amazing outcome from that, which will actually be 45 to 60 days after the event. That's when things will just go ballistic. So there's tons of momentum for this event already. It's rare that you have this kind of momentum. And I gotta give credit to the organizers and the facilitators and the speakers and everybody who participated in Orlando, because that set a tone. It set a feverish pitch that, okay, this game is on. We're on. And so, I got my 5-block as well because I didn't want to be one of the last guys to get the 5-block, so I just got my 5-block. I encourage anybody to get theirs because I think, Rick, you said there's maybe only 40 left.
Yeah, 45 blocks left, and that was before the call tonight.
Okay, so I think what will happen inevitably is you set yourself up to win, you're going to win big. And this particular event, I feel it in my bones that this is going to be it. This is going to be a very big tipping point for us.
Yep, absolutely. And let me run through some of the mechanics. We'll come back to you guys in a little while. And then I want to hear, we have an all-star lineup tonight. We have Dave Johnson, Dennis Williams, Julie Terra, Brody Crandy, Bernadette McBurney, Carrie Percy, Molly Simpson, Ben Woodward is going to be throwing some thoughts in to kind of close the tail up on this thing. But it's great to be with you guys. As you guys know, I won't go through every detail again. I'll just kind of give you the highlights of it. The bottom line, though, is we have a venue on the Riverwalk. This all came together because the leadership team of Nikken is completely united. This is not our event, Paige and I's. This is everybody's event. The leaders who are on this call tonight, it's their event. What I love about this group of people is I can truly look at the faces of the people that are in the leadership positions in Nikken, and they view these events as holding the door open so other people can achieve the top levels. Not being on the stage to hold the stage, but being on the stage to open the stage. And that's really how we look at this. It's about celebrating the next wave of Nikken people. The venue itself is unbelievable. It's actually in the convention center. It's attached to it. One of the nice things about this event this year, we're not going to have to make the 300-mile walk back to Ballroom B. It's actually right in the front before you go down those bridges. It's a standalone building with all the artwork up on top. And it's just absolutely beautiful. It's huge. We have the ability to do some things we've never done in there before. The event will not have any slow points. It's going to be a really fast-moving event. With I know, Mike, we were talking about in Orlando, the talent show. Think how much fun that's going to be. Just fun. And if you want to talk about humans being more, what's more humans being more than showing the different people in Nikken what they can do? I mean, it's really going to be cool. I mean, did you guys know I could ride a unicycle and play a tuba? You did not, but you will. And the fact that I could do it in a Thermatech Speedo really will blow everybody away. But you know, but it's just a really cool. It's going to be really light and fast. So you know, we're not going to get mechanical on stage in front of 2,000 people from 15 countries. It's going to be, what do we do? Who are we? And reaffirming that. The other thing about this event, I think you guys would all agree, this is not walking into this event wondering who we are. This is coming into this event declaring who we are, and all the world's our stage. The days of searching for how we're going to do things are either over or about to be. It's going to be about executing and putting some mad numbers of people down throughout organizations and running this company towards billions. So a few of the mechanics, we're going to kick off on the website is nifc16.com, and we did that so that we didn't have to translate into other languages. If you go to nifc16.com, and one little thing I meant to say on the kickoff call, if you're above platinum and you're attending the event, please send us your picture. We want to get everybody's pictures on this website to celebrate what a great leader you are, to edify you as the leader that you are. So if you're above platinum, we don't have your picture. It's not because we didn't want to have your picture. It's just, it's hard to scour the earth for photos. Like I need Rachel Dayton's picture. I'm looking up here. She's one of our great leaders on Team Kaizen. I don't have her up here. I need a lot of great leaders on here. So if you're above platinum, we want you on here so that we can celebrate you. The other thing, the website is in 3 languages. We're finishing up getting the French to look a little better. The Spanish is actually solid. Everything is in place for the ticketing. If you go over here, as we talked about the 5 blocks, the way we did this, and I'm going to go really, really fast on this, the tickets for this event probably should be, I mean, for in the theater like this, between $180 and $300, which is any other MLM. If you guys were in, this would be a $300 to $400 ticket easy. We wanted to make all the tickets cheaper than just buying 2 of the tickets. So when you're buying a 5 block, I want you guys to know you're actually buying 2 tickets, but we're expanding out to 5. Because we don't want you coming by yourself and that's your investment. We want the investment to be in new people. All the leadership community in Nikken, we ran this by everybody. Do we want to make this for new people? Okay, well, we're going to bite the bullet. It's, you know, you look at your budget, you say, how are we going to do this? Let's go for it, man. I believe in the people in Nikken. These other leaders believe in the people in Nikken, that we're going to fill this with new people. In fact, we believe it so much that if you get a 5 block, your distributorship comes free. Think about that. If you get 5 and you bring 2 people, you're free. If you're a rising star, you get 5, your 2 or your 1 are free. Nikken's going to give you back $190 of it, or 85, depending if you're a couple, at the event. Think about that for a minute. So Paige and I, because this is an incorporated event, we don't get free tickets either. We have our own 10 block. And our job, we want to fill those with new front lines. I didn't call my downline and fill them with people who are safe in-house. We have 5 blocks for people that are not in our groups yet, and we're going to get a Teach 3 to Reach 3 form. And Paige and I's goal is to fill it in with new names so that we're coming in with new people ourselves. I already got 3 of the tickets filled. of people that are new to our organization. And I think I told you guys in the kickoff call, we talked about this with the leaders community too. Once we hit 1,000 tickets, because that's when the budget's big enough, which we should pretty easy, whoever brings the most new people on stage that are signed up from now until convention, we're going to give $1,000 cash in your hand. What do you guys think of that? You like that idea? Whoever brings the most new people is going to get 1,000 fazools in your hand. All right. And I might do it in pennies if but you're going to get 1,000. Wouldn't it be funny? Put the wheelbarrow. But no, we're definitely going to do that for one lucky person once we hit that 1,000th ticket. It's going to be unbelievable. The 5 blocks are going to be sold out pretty soon. If you guys take a look at the ticket page, you can see we have a gallery, or I'm sorry, the orc section on the bottom. We have the balconies. Our intention right now is to only sell 5 blocks in the bottom. That means we only have 205 blocks available. This back left is going to be the VIP section down there. So right now, what we know of yesterday, there were 135 blocks already sold, and that was before these calls. What else is crazy about this is Nikken Colombia called today, Christina Fernandez, on the exciting WhatsApp, which I didn't even know existed until I went down to Colombia. This is from Nikken Colombia. I'll show you guys this. Basically sending right in here. Where is it? That they are buying as we speak. Yes, I would like 80 tickets. That's from Nikken. That's from Nikken Colombia. They're ordering 80 tickets. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're going to use them as prizes. Guys, that doesn't include Mexico, who's on wheels coming up here. We haven't even kicked it off in Europe yet. And about 80% of North America is seeing this for the first time tonight because Orlando was a great group, but there's a lot more people in the broader Nikken. So if you want your 5 blocks, you better get them because they're going to be gone, most lickety split. And then we got 6 months to fill it. Okay, 6 months. The last thing I'll tell you is we're going to start on Thursday. The main night, it'll be a general session kicking in that night at 6 on the Thursday night. So you're going to want to be there for that. We're going to have some big deals. And you guys know that we've been working with Nikken Latin America, Nikken Europe, Nikken North America has been great. There's going to be amazing product launchers. Dr. Naidu is releasing what he calls, if you looked online when he talked about the lactoferrin and osteodense trailer videos, he called them trailers for the October video. I don't know if you guys picked that up. He's calling the October video his crown jewel, what he's going to make on all of our technologies. So product launches, corporate recognition, big time speakers, a big party on the Riverwalk. The exact schedule will firm up, but it will first start on that Thursday night. If you have a 5 block, we're going to let you in at 2 so that you can get your people seated together wherever you want. You're not going to have an exact assigned seat. That was a nightmare to do, but you're going to be in the lower level with the 5 blocks. You can go in there early and pick your seats, whatever you want to do. So last but not least, let me just say this. There will be Humans Be More on Sunday. Nikken Inc. wanted to take over registration because they're worried with 2,000 people coming to this, how in the world are they going to have an HBM that's limited to 250? Because you can't do really a class bigger than that. They're going to take it over. There will be some other exciting things around the event we'll talk about later, and we're going to do big announcements like every month up to then. But the bottom line is, my take on this event is I would get as many junkets as you can right now, get as many of your people in here as possible. In fact, let me while I'm on that take, let me go out of order here just a little bit because Carrie Percy, are you on the live side real quick? Let me grab you before I move on to a couple speakers. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. You went out this week. Carrie called last week and said, you know what, I want to maximize this event. And the first thing you said was, I'm going to get 5 blocks. Where did you end up at by last night when you sent me the last ones? Close to 20, wasn't it?
Yeah, close to 20. Yeah.
Pretty exciting. What's that going to do for your business?
Well, I know it's going to explode it. Years ago when I was working on going platinum, I did the same thing, got everybody to the big event. And from there, it just grew with excitement. They were, not only were they excited, but they had vision of where we were going and what we were doing. So as soon as you said that it was filling up, I was on the phone calling everybody and said, you better get your 5 block. You better do it right now. So I'm excited about that. And I'm still going. I still need to make lots more phone calls. So the goal is for me to have 50 people there on my team or more.
Nice. And you're going to be one of the event MCs along with Molly Simpson, along with Linda Morris down in Florida and Christina Lair, who's here in Texas. So congratulations on being one of the faces of the event. It's going to be pretty cool, isn't it?
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be
Awesome.
fun. Super fun.
Awesome. And before I run over to Dave Johnson and then Dennis Williams, Molly, are you on the live side too? Since you're the other MC, it sounds like a good time to bring you over. You've got a big group coming too. What's your goal for the event?
155. That's my goal, and we're 2/3 of the way there. So
You got 75 tickets in already. That's what, 15 5 blocks?
Yep,
That's not very horrible.
we're doing great. I'm so excited. I know the power of these events and how that's what really launched me, was getting 8 different legs to an event.
Wow.
Really just started the snowball for me. And this event just is going to be knock your socks off. I'm so excited for this.
Wow. So between you and Carrie, we're going to have like a punch dancing dance off on stage to see who gets $1,000. You might be tied.
Oh, we got our own little bubble going. We're doing good.
Yeah. I'm like, Molly and Carrie, you're bringing spending money to the event. Nope. We're going to get $1,000 there from the ATM.
That's right.
That's
Just don't
awesome.
give it to me in pennies.
Well, yeah, I won't. And by the way, if you guys are wondering why the event sold out, just blame the two of them. There's 10% of the junkets right there going down the tube. That's awesome. Thank you, ladies, very much. That's a good time to kick it over. We're going to go back to a couple people in a minute, but if anybody has any questions, chat them over to me. I'll answer them at the end of the thing. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on just mechanics tonight, but as you guys can see, it's going to be a pretty big event. We're also working on some kind of a party celebration. We have a couple options for Saturday night by popular request. One of them is a 4-story high nightclub on the Riverwalk with Latin music, dance music, country music on every level. We also have a couple other options. So we will also, in fact, I hate to tell you guys, the only reason we do the whole event is an excuse to have a giant party on the Riverwalk, and we had to have a reason to get everybody together. So we're going to have, basically the whole thing's a 3-day celebration in Nikken. So it's going to be pretty cool. And Dave, let's run down to Dave Johnson, then Dennis Williams. You know, there's a good chance you're going to have some downline at this event, which I know you're excited about. I keep telling you every year, keep plugging away, so you'll have some group. What do you think, Dave, as you hear all this stuff, man, since you are Daverham, the father of all waters here?
Well, my goodness, I've been to a lot of events. They're life-changing, and I obviously haven't been to this one yet, but I'll just tell you that this is the best event I've ever attended, and I haven't even got there yet. It's be amazing.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. I just really love sharing with people that I tell them that if they come, I promise them that they'll be glad they came. But I tell them I want to give you a heads up, because when you go, you're definitely going to be glad, but at the same time, you're going to be thinking, oh my goodness, why didn't I try a little harder to invite so-and-so or whoever? And so this is the time to really go. Another thing I'd like to say is just the magic of compounding, that if you talk to somebody today, it's going to be more valuable than talking to somebody maybe the 2nd of October or whatever. And definitely we want to talk to people in October, but this is a chance to find somebody new. As an example, I'm meeting with somebody brand new. I haven't even met him yet, just over the phone, and we're getting together this week, and he's pretty excited, and I'm just really pumped, and I'm hoping he might be a new business builder, and I've got enough time to help him, not only to come, but for him to help people, and maybe those people to help people to come, and get a snowball rolling. So we got enough time. The magic that's out there, and everyone that's in network marketing, and of course Nikken, knows that the highest paid activity is getting somebody to an event like this, and building that excitement, something to work towards, and just having that time. But use that time. Don't just think, well, it's way off in October, so I don't even have to get started for a little bit. This is the time to really gather your energy. I just kind of look at this as a stream of momentum that's moving along, and so if you get in that stream and start moving, you're going to be pulled along with that current. So it's just this is a golden moment. All the things that are happening right now, if you're talking to people, I'll just leave this thought with you. That even the prospects, they're doing their job better than they've ever done before. They're interested. It's just a time to run. If you ever thought about running, this is the time to run. So I'm going to bring some more people.
Good. And you know, you said something real interesting too. Everybody wants to have a big group there. I've seen block ticketing 2 times now, and it works really well especially for the people that use it. Get on this now. Our entire mentoring team starting this week is going to fill out blank Teach Street or Reach Street forms, and we're going to drive towards this as a mentor, and not only do it with the income, but also with the events listing, also for your local events. If you're filling local events, you're going to fill national events. So be engaged in your local area, and you'll get the big ones for free. So that's awesome. And thank you very much, Dave. Dennis Williams, our other Royal Ambassador, what are your thoughts, my good friend, as you listen in here on our rock opera tonight with the best of Nikken going on?
Yeah, it is exciting. You know, we like Dave, you know, we've been to a lot of events over the years, and this is building up to be the best one ever for sure. And you know, we were excited about Orlando because you know, we felt the heart message of Nikken coming back, and the mission thing and all that. And we had some new people there that made commitments because of that event. I read a couple of quotes recently. One was by Winston Churchill, and he says, "Strength is granted to us all when we are needed to serve great causes." And we definitely have a great cause to serve here with, you know, putting everybody's lives in balance, families all over the world. There's a lot of things people are stressed about, and we really do have something to offer. Another quote that I read is, "Every organization is ultimately driven by a sense of mission and the importance of what the people in it are accomplishing." And as you all know, what we're doing is very important. So all kinds of ways, you know, if our job is simply to share what we have, and it's their job to decide to be a customer, a business partner, or to do nothing at all. And we're just out there to share the story and do the best we can to let people see the real vision of what we have. And we're doing all we can to get as many people as we can to that event as well, and build a couple more silvers before that event. That would be great. So anyway, it's going to be an exciting thing, and we're glad to be a part of this great Nikken team, all the loyal people that we have here. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
It is, and it's going to be a very big celebration. I'll be together in such a beautiful spot, celebrating each other and those friendships, Dennis. And I just appreciate your being here with us tonight. We love you and Valerie Dave and Valerie and Dennis and Ruth. Thanks for being such great role ambassadors. We all appreciate your support always, and it's an honor to be in this business with you guys. Thank you very much. You're the first face I ever saw in Nikken was Dennis Williams on VHS. If it wasn't for you, I'd probably be sitting in a cubicle banging my head through particles or through partitions, wishing I'd watched that video 20 years ago. So every time I see you, especially on a screen like this, thanks for saving me from the world of work.
You're welcome, Rick. Thank you.
You bet. We love you, man. Let's go down to our reigning Team Tai Chi member, the Paragon Award winner, superstar, rock star, ballet star, every kind of star you can think of, one of the best leaders I know, and inspiring people. Royal Diamond Julie Terra, are you ready to dance in our rock opera tonight?
Hey, thanks for having me on. This is great to be with all of you. And you made me giggle there about Dennis Williams and the VHS video, because I remember bringing in a lot of people on that video.
Yeah, me too. That was it, wasn't it?
Just to remember that. I'm very excited about this event. I've just been making a whole new list of all the new prospects that I want to bring. Not to mention, of course, all my new silvers and their people. It's just going to be massive. Everybody who's on the call, you've got to get your 5 blocks right now. And, you know, I had one of my new silvers in Orlando with me, and we met this afternoon. I adore her, Michelle Garcia. She's one of my favorite people in the world. And one of the things she said, I was asking her about Orlando and what she loved. And of course, she loved everything, and the learning and the how-tos. But the most important thing I felt I heard was she said, I saw all of you, and I realized that you're not that different from me, and I can really do this, and I can take this to the top, which I absolutely know she can. And it was just so fabulous to see her really own that. And I think that's one of the powerful things about bringing people that have never seen an event like a Nikken event to this particular event coming up. This is going to be huge. I say coming up, it's October, but it feels like it's coming up right around the corner. We've got lots of momentum already engaging here. So it's so that people understand that they can be and do and have all that we love to be and do and have in Nikken. It's understanding being part of a mission. And I think that the mission, you know, as Dennis just said, that's everything. There's everything. It gives us the oomph to get out there and do it one more day and have something magic happen and expect for miracles to occur. So it's the vision of a huge global movement with a huge heart that is well established in it, with smart, minds that are helping all of us to do better than we've done before. And it's about growth and personal growth and becoming who we really are, becoming our greatest self, our victorious self. And I have to tell you, last night I went to see Jungle Book with my son Ryan and his girlfriend Anita, who, by the way, we just brought in a new senior under Anita, very exciting, and had a new silver break as well. It was very exciting. So we went to Jungle Book, and it's one of my favorite stories ever from when I was a little girl. And I always wanted to be Mowgli. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's the life I want to live out there in the wilds. And one of the most beautiful things that I really got last night, such a great film, go see it and see it on the big screen because it's brilliantly done, is that the story really is about becoming your authentic self. It's that, Bagheera the cat is an authentic Black Panther, and that Shere Khan is an authentic tiger, and that Mowgli is an authentic boy who's going to become a man. And he learns what it means to become his true self. And it just hit me like I thought, I never saw it quite like that before. But I think that's Nikken, it's us becoming our true selves, our authentic, real, fabulous, victorious selves. And that's what we love, and that's what we love to empower others to do, is to become their true selves and live fabulous lives. And I am super psyched about it. So thank you very much. I got a brand new list here just while we've been on the phone. And that's how it is, right? It stimulates your reticular activation device of the brain, and boom.
Nice.
Oh, what about him? What about her? What about him? What about her? So,
you were one of the first people we talked about this when we were talking about booking it, if you remember, because it was a nerve-wracking thing to take something on this big. And I remember you sent you a picture of the stage, and you said, you know what, had a dream recently about being on a stage live. Remember that whole conversation we had? So you were one of the pivotal people that you've danced on stages of this caliber before. It's really something to be on a stage that big, isn't it? And realize it for the accomplishment. It's a different thing being on a stage like that, isn't it?
Oh, totally. Totally different vibration, completely, and very, very exciting. I know, it's a beautiful stage. It's a beautiful theater, and I'm somebody who loves beauty. I really respond well to beauty, and many of you do too. It's a sort of guiding light. Even the Native Americans, say, walking the beauty way. Do you walk the beauty way? So to have an event like this is really right for us, because Nikken is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful vision. It's a beautiful dream. It's a beautiful vehicle. And it's a beautiful business, beautiful products. So to have it in a beautiful place like this is apropos, I think, for all of us.
It is. That's a good way to put it. Thank you, Julie. You are awesome as always, and thanks for being such a great leader with all the things you're doing and the Paragon Awards. It's nice in the Army. The guy in front of you wears two glowing things in the back of his helmet. They're called cat eyes, so you know who to follow. So it's nice to know who's out front doing stuff. Thanks for being such a great leader.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Great.
Absolutely. Now, America's third runner-up for Handsomest Man of the Year, Royal Diamond, Brody Craney. Are you ready to rock, man?
I am ready to rock. I hate following Julie, though. She is just one absolutely amazing lady who is just always on fire. Julie, thank you for all that you do. Folks, this event, I was so excited when I saw the stage. I was excited when I heard about the types of things that would be taking place there. Two new product launches. And I don't know, I got electrified all the way through. I'm going to have over 200 people in my organization coming. I just had all my leaders have committed, bought their tickets. I've got 21 tickets myself, and just had another 30 people commit out of Europe coming this direction.
Nice.
So what I did with my organization is I told everybody, I said, look, folks, right now, between now and San Antonio, are some amazing times and a lot of great things can get done. How many of you would like to have 100 new customers before San Antonio? Do you have a goal for how many new customers you want before San Antonio? How many of you would like to have a rank advancement before San Antonio? Because they'll have recognition there on stage. How many of you would like to have some of your people recognized in San Antonio for that? So I challenged all my folks, 100 new customers by then, a new rank advancement by then, and 6 legs. How many can have at least 6 legs represented in San Antonio, if you're building a big, long, stable business, wanting to get a good, strong Royal Diamond ship moving on to ambassador. And when I think of big events, I've been plugging into these things now for 20 years. And I remember the very first one, I balked. I said, man, I don't have the time to go. I don't have the money to go. And I remember my mentor telling me, they said, you know, anytime you have a chance to learn something from someone who's maybe a little smarter, maybe a little sharper, maybe they've made a little more money than you have. If you've got someone who can make over $10,000 a month, is a chance that you could learn something from them. And we've got millionaires coming from across the nation that are going to plug into here. And if you just came home with one idea out of this, and if everybody on your team could come home with just one idea, I mean, heaven forbid that we should discover that the world is not financially flat. If you could actually discover the world is round and find a new way to bring that abundance to you and everybody around you, from an idea that one person shared on that stage, it would be worth plugging a whole life into something like this. But you just come to this one event and get one new idea to set yourself and your team on fire, and it'll be extremely worth every moment of it. So, Rick, I want to thank you and applaud you for your efforts and for, I know what it's like to put these events on, and it's not only a little bit financially unnerving when you put your money down, but then the time to go into it. And folks, let's give Rick all we've got to make this thing sizzle. And the time to commit, folks, is now. My first event, I went and I kicked myself. Why didn't I have just a boatload of people? So the second event, I bought 20 tickets before the event ever started. How many people do you want to have there? Get your tickets before these blocks disappear. I just got 2 more before we jumped on this call, Rick. You got me all excited.
You know what, man? That's the way to do it. And I'll tell you something. When Paige and I were calling the leadership team and saying, listen, this theater fell in our laps, and I won't retell the story, but the first year we tried to rebook this, I remember talking to William and Deborah Todd about this about a year ago, that how beautiful the theater was. It was such the guy actually said to me, have you guys ever had somebody treat you like a kid? He's like, oh, that's a little out of your budget range. And then he said, and by the way, even if it was, it's booked for 5 years. I was like, well, okay. And by the way, October is the biggest prime month of all the prime months. To get that call, say it's available, and I was standing all by myself on the stage when the coordinator went to go get a phone call, and I actually called Paige from the stage, looking at these decks. It was empty, and I knew just the magnitude of book in the room, like the cost of it, the job. If it wasn't for thinking about you guys that are on the live side on this call and knowing the caliber and thinking about the filling it, it's easy to think about the fear of not filling it. Somebody said to me, well, should I get 2 5 blocks? And Brody, you got 20. And I remember we signed that contract. I told Paige, well, honey, we just bought 1,000 block. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anything that's worth doing, if you don't have a little bit of fear of stepping into it, it's probably not something that's going to get you where you want to do. So, you know, working with you guys and working with each other, we're unstoppable, man. This room is going to be a tiny fraction of the rooms we're going to fill. Guys, we'll be doing 10, 20, 30,000 people again. We're going to be up the road at the Jerry Dome in 5 years. Mark my words, we're going to be. The people sitting in this room now are going to be sitting in that room as golds, platinums, and diamonds with the lower deck filled with all your new people. That's where we're going. This is just a stepping stone to a bigger thing. And I applaud you, Brody, for rocking the house, man. You brought the flavor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all you're doing.
Yeah, my pleasure. You guys too. And let me kick it down to Bernadette McBurney, B-Back, as I call her, because she's so cool out in San Francisco Bay Area. Are you ready to rock, Bernadette? Because you are an awesome Team Kaizen leader too.
Thank you, Rick. I am really, really ready. Well, you know, before I just share some idea, I just want to say we just came back from Orlando. And one thing I want to share with anybody who's listening here, I was there with quite a few people, and 3 of them were brand new. And what I mean by that, one was like 6 months new in Nikken. The other one was 2-3 months new in Nikken. And the latest one was 2 weeks new in Nikken. So, and I have to tell you, Orlando already had such an impact on them. You know, when we announced that we could buy the tickets, you know, all of us who came, we immediately bought a block of tickets that was no hesitation. And so the power event, absolutely. I think sometimes the challenge for people is just really, you know, is to envision their team as they want it to become, not as what it is right now. And that is really about envisioning the future. And when we do that, it's just amazing, because then it's really having the faith that people will show up, people we haven't sponsored yet, people we haven't met yet are going to show up, because then we come from that vibration and that energy, and that's what we're going to project, knowing that what we have is so good that we cannot deny it from other people. We cannot take that away from them. So that position of knowing how good it is so important.
Right.
But then the other thing is action, because it's not enough to do all the things if we don't back it up with action. And that's the key thing. And then it's having the urgency to share the message, urgency to share how good Nikken is at all levels. When we talk about living a life in balance, living our life to the fullest, because to me, that's really what Nikken is about. Then it's having the urgency to share it with more and more people, but without the hype, but with that deep conviction and really the message from the heart. So I'm more excited than ever. More excited. And making it a global event, my goodness, people are going to see the magnitude of what we got.
Yeah, it's going to be something. We've never seen the level of cooperation. Bernadette, you've been on it. You're helping coordinate Europe. We've never seen the level of cooperation between the Nikken corporate staffs going laterally up and down. Dr. Naidu himself is putting thousands of dollars into this event with what he's doing with his video. Folks, that's a big investment, and he's doing it. He has no reason to do it other than to help us. He is so excited about it. Dave, we were talking, how much time have we spent on the phone just because he's just that excited about Nikken? And I
was on the phone with him for an hour and a half. He's just pumped. He is totally jazzed.
And that was just hello. Right? It was. He is. It's unbelievable, you guys, what's happening. And things are being laid at our feet right now that if we take advantage of it, we're going to head north towards a new billion. And I thank you, Bernadette, for being such an all-star and just a really good friend. It's just really nice to be among people tonight that are just such great friends, and to see all your faces, it means a lot. And I just want to tell you, Susan Carver would have been with us tonight. Speaking of friends and great leaders, she's on a cruise, well-deserved after running. She did such a great job in Orlando. Dave obviously stepped up and his staff and took that over, and I helped with a lot of the audio visual and wherever I could, but Susan really carried the weight on that event. She did an unbelievable job. So I got to take my hat off to her. She would be with us here tonight as one of our very, very best as well. And speaking of that, we'll go back and get some closing thoughts in a second, but our Royal Diamond Bed Woodward, who all had a beautiful new son this week, and talking about good friends and just great people. Mr. Woodward, what are your thoughts tonight, my friend? Kind of summing it up as the guy that kind of cast this vision a year ago, seeing it's kind of come to pass and turn into a reality, my friend.
I think, first of all, it's exciting to see how many tickets have already sold. And I was sat there today when you were saying that there's only 45 blocks left.
Yep. And
how fast they're going to go. In my anxiousness to not miss out, I jumped on while we've been speaking tonight to book some tickets. Because the reality is they could all go tonight, those 5 blocks, as we look at the number of people on the call tonight. I want to take a slightly different perspective, if that's okay. Everyone on the call tonight has given reasons as to why we should come along, take decision, act now, bring people on. It's going to be a great event and so on. And we hear this, and I want to take it from a perspective of a brand new person that maybe hasn't been to these events before, or maybe we've been here for a while, but we've not attended before. Or we haven't perhaps attended with some groups of our own before. And I want to ask the question, why are all the leaders tonight sharing this message? And I, for those of you that know me, of course, I think most of you do now, I always like to use data and statistics as much as possible to back up any decisions and strategy, of course. But here's an interesting point to consider. The emotional center in our brain is found in the limbic system. And scientists have defined our limbic system, this emotional center, as an open loop system. Well, what does that mean? And what relevance does this have to what we're talking about tonight? Well, a closed loop system is something like our circulatory system. what that means is it's self-regulating, but also it means that the circulatory system of someone that's around me tonight doesn't impact my own circulatory system. They're independent and they serve each other themselves, but they don't influence each other. However, our emotional systems do. In fact, we rely on the emotional input of other people in order for us to get regulation in our own emotional centers. Does that make sense? So to that point, what's the relevance here of having a meeting such as what we're talking about? Let me give you some very interesting specifics here on how these emotional systems work, and thus the huge relevance, scientifically speaking, of us coming together for meetings. It's not just because we think it's a good idea. It's not just because it's fun. There's real proven benefit for us getting together at events like this. I'll give you an example. So, recognizing that the emotional centers of one person can influence the emotional behavior of another. My internet connection is paused there. Let me give you some specific examples. When we're working together, one person can transmit signals that can alter the hormone levels, the cardiovascular functions, the sleep rhythms, even the immune functions inside the body of another person. And now we've all seen that on an emotional level when we're dating. You have a great date when you're first getting together and you can't get to sleep that night. Your heart starts to race. You've got all of these great feelings that are going on because the influence of one other person is having a great impact on us in particular. Couples have been found to trigger surges of oxytocin in each other's brains, creating pleasant feelings, emotional, affectionate feelings. They affect our social life, our physiologies intermingle, and all of this starts to relate and converge together to create harmony and balance. Now, what's interesting is, let's put this into effect in a business setting here, like in Nikken. When we all get together in a large group such as this, all of our emotional centers start to merge. They rub off on each other. They start to influence each other. Our energy levels start to escalate. Our belief systems start to expand. Our conviction starts to grow. Our sleep systems are influenced because we all go to bed that night unable to get to sleep with the excitement that we're sharing from each other. Is this just a chance, do you think? Is this just coincidence that all of these scientific evidences of how our emotional systems work together, is this just chance that Nikken puts on these great events, thinking that it's just a good thing to do? Absolutely not. It is proven not just in business results through the evidence and testimonials of those that have spoken tonight, but it's also proven in the research laboratories of scientists all around the world that show that our emotional systems strengthen each other. And if we can work together this way and back each other up, support each other, voice our convictions in front of others, what we see is we start to create a result that grows the emotional systems of those around us. For that reason, it is super, super important that we anticipate that effect when we go into these meetings in October and any of the other events that are happening beforehand. See that this is something that we can build towards. If we know, and we can see that because we can expect it based on scientific research and evidence, that there's going to be an emotional effect on those that attend these meetings. Scientifically proven fact, it's going to happen. That being said, if we know and we can anticipate there is going to be a huge emotional impact on those that attend, that is going to be positive, enthusiastic, motivating, inspiring, and filling them with conviction, hope, and anticipation. If that's the case, and it's scientifically proven that that's going to be the case, how many people in your team do you want to have that effect with? How many people in your group do you want to have a part of that? And to me, it just goes without saying that we've got to get these tickets sold, get our people there, and help them all feel a part of what we all feel tonight. Get them involved in that meeting. And I've said this many times over. I'll say it one last time tonight. One of the great networkers that I've had the privilege of working with back in the UK, in his heyday, when he'd get his events together, he'd get 30 to 40,000 people in a room in pessimistic Britain. Not in the land of the brave and the home of the free, in pessimistic Britain, where they don't have the all-American dream. They don't have that at all. but he would get 30 to 40,000 people. And I asked him, what is the key here to building a great business in this industry? And without hesitation, he said, it's all about creating a club that people want to belong to.
You bet.
And that's what it's all about. And how does that happen? It doesn't happen in an email. It won't happen in a text. A big part of it can happen on calls such as this, but a huge chunk will happen when we're face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball, heart to heart, together as a team. That's when things really start to change. And it's scientifically proven. It's backed with the results in our business. So in my eyes, it just goes without saying, why not get a load of tickets right now and make it happen and make your team make the full use and advantage of all of the sacrifice and effort when other people are getting 1,000 blocks booked down so that we can make the most of it. Put that sacrifice to good use.
That is wonderful, my friend. And you know what's interesting? Molly Simpson was the first one I saw that really did this, and it was fascinating. She actually had a big yellow piece of paper, like a ledger, and she had names and then 5 beneath it. She had all the people on her team she wanted to have 5 blocks, and then spots for who she wanted to bring in her team. And what's fascinating is I'm watching them fill in with the purchase blocks. It's crazy. But even as a Royal Diamond like you or Dave or Dennis Ruth, whatever, this is a strategic tool where you could have 50 of your people working 5 blocks. It's a tactical tool, meaning if you want to go silver yourself, you use it to go silver. What we wanted to do was get these out early in May, and then we have May, June, July, August, September, October to fill them. Do you guys realize what we're holding in our hands with these 5 blocks is not tickets? We're holding in our hands the embryos of what Nikken's going to look like. The people that are going to be the future silvers and golds and platinums, the people that are going to be that. Look, all of us on this call, this is a fact, and I mean this. Every single one of us in this call represent the last billion. Now, we're going to be a part of the next billion, but the literal next billion are the people who are going to be sitting in that room that aren't signed up yet. That's the bottom line. We all know who created the first billion, but we're going to find out who's going to do the next billion, and it's going to be the people that are popular. So when I look at these tickets, and the reason we wanted to ticket it this way, I mean, we could have easily said, you know what, it's a theater, it's $175 a ticket, and that's what it is. But you know something? I love the fact that you all get to say, hey, I've got 5 possibilities or 10 or whatever to literally transform my life and all these other people's. And when I get on Facebook, instead of looking at what Nikken's doing, you should be getting on Facebook so Nikken can write about what you're doing. There is no Nikken. Nikken makes packaged and events products. You guys are Nikken. And Nikken is as bright as the sound of your voice and the reach of your arm. And what this thing does, we're creating the vibrant world that we want to be. This is, if we hit this right now, this is the beginning of the next wave of the next billion. I believe that with all my heart, because the theater represents a unique opportunity to pivot and have an entire new view of the corporation. Do you guys realize the first major event, probably 800 to 1,000 new people are going to see? They're not going to know anything different than Nikken is in Carnegie Hall. Do you realize that? Your new people that's where they're going to start. And if we start there, where can we go? You know, Ben, there's no limit, is there?
No, absolutely not. And it's just a great platform to instill confidence, belief, trust, excitement, all that great stuff. So hard to come away from one of those events and not be pumped.
Right, and I'll tell you, the talent show alone is worth the ticket.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
I think we're going to have
Mike DiMuccio's singing vocals here, and I've seen him in action in Paris, and
he'll be great.
We've got to go.
Well, you know what? We're going to here in about 2 weeks, once we're done with the early ticketing, we're going to say submit your YouTube videos, and it can be up to 5 minutes in length. And we're going to pick, I'm going to say we're going to pick the top 10 to 15, but I think I'm going to pick the worst 5 also, because I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to tell them they're great though. Oh, that's the best thing I've ever seen. You got to be up there. So I want 10 great ones and 5 that I tell them they're great. I'm just kidding. We're going to do that. It's going to be a blast, man. It's going to be hilarious. And I want to go back. And by the way, do you guys know we hit the upper limit on the Zoom tonight, that we had tons of people trying to get on the call that could not get on? We were packed. So do you guys think it's a little bit ironic that the event that we're going to be selling out was on a Zoom tonight that was oversold? that ain't all bad. And I want to go back. Mike, are you still on the live side, Mr. DiMuccio?
Yes, I am. Rick, I honestly don't think I can add much more than what was just said, except maybe if you haven't already made a decision, make a decision. Don't even think about it. Just make the decision. You're going to be there. And since you're going to bring people with you. So might as well get your 5 block. I know I'm going to get 2 more for myself before the night's out, because I have every intention of having those people there as newbies on my team. So I think if you're at all serious about your Nikken business, you cannot not be there. You have to be at this event. It's life and death for you in this business. You want to be part of this next wave. And everything in my bones and in my blood tells me this is it. We've hit that point where we now know this is moving quick, and it's moving quicker than I even expected. So jump on board, get your ticket, make the decision tonight you're going. Then all the actions and activities and thought processes that you're going to be sharing with people are going to be with that in the backdrop. You're going to invoke the law of attraction. Everything's going to follow the energy that you set in motion by making that decision and making that affirmative decision. So make the decision to be there, and then watch the magic happen. Create the space to fill. Get those 5 blocks. Create the space to fill. I just want to leave one last thing. Ihor Lenko was one of the greatest promoters in the early days here in Toronto. And our first 1,000-person event, before we had ever, I think the biggest event we'd ever had was maybe 350 people at one time. He kept saying to us, you better get your tickets. You better get your tickets, because we're going to have 1,000 people there. We're going to have 1,000 people there. And he started saying that from the very first day. Well, of course, everybody got into a bit of a frenzy and a panic, so you bought 50 tickets. Before long, those tickets were gone, so you'd have to go back and get another 50 tickets. And the key was having the tickets in my hands.
Yep.
To be able to give them to somebody, or to be able to create the incentive, or be able to sell them on the spot and make it part of the conversation. Well, sure enough, we had 950 people at that event. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Nice.
End of story.
Nice. You know what's funny? I'm getting so many chats right now for people already saying what their talent is. We may have to devote a whole day, you guys. Let's see. I can see Mike and Ben on the screen right now. So, Mike, I know you're going to sing, and you all know I'm going to do the unicycle. Maybe Kurt will surprise us and play the harp or something and blow us all away and say, who knows. Ben, you're just going to show everybody how you serve dinner with 6 kids and a newborn. That'll just be your talent, how to just make dinner. And, hey, that'll be it. Just film dinner, and you'll win the talent show.
That'll be very entertaining, to say the least.
Absolutely. Hey, William, you're still on the live side. I want to pull you back over. Are you live still?
Yeah, I'm attempting to figure out which Will Ferrell character I'm coming as.
Don't come as Ronald Reagan. That didn't go too well. Yeah, you gotta. What do you think, man? You've been hovering over, and I wanted to pull you back over. What do you think, man? We're gonna put a couple people on this.
Just my closing comments are there's really 4 individuals that make San Antonio possible. The first one is Isamu Masuda with his heart message and humans being more. The second individual is, Toshizo Watanabe with his foundation, giving away millions of dollars to people that just don't see where the money's coming from to put their kids through a college education. And number 3 is Kurt Foley, with every home a wellness home. And the 4th individual is you. Bottom line, you're the one that's going to make this event possible. So, the key question is what are you going to do between now and San Antonio with your mind, your body, your family, your society, and your finances? And, quite frankly, I would set a goal to make sure that you're holding the microphone in San Antonio. There's plenty of time to break that pin level to get that microphone on stage. Rick?
That's exactly right. And what's funny is don't go to this event to watch it. Go to the event to make everybody else watch what you did the last 6 months. Let your deeds speak, and let it be something that speaks for your body of work. And, have your goal. Maybe you get up there on that stage, but see how many people you can get up there too. There's nothing better than sitting in the back of the room watching your people shine. And I mean that. Whoever brings the most new people that are new in Nikken from May until the event, we're going to give you a cool grand up on stage. In fact, I'm going to put it in the freezer all night so it's cold when you get your hands on it. The talent shows, the product launches, the fellowship. When I was in Orlando last week, I got to tell you, I sat in that room and looked just at my friends, man, and people that I've known for 15 and 20 years and people that I've known for just a few months. It's so cool to just be a part of people that I just enjoy seeing and enjoy being around. And everybody that was live on the Zoom tonight have been peers with us all over the world. You think about the places we've been and the various cities we've all been in. To be at this point, the defining moment in Nikken when we're moving into our next phase, because I believe this is the pivot point, just means a lot to us to be able to do it with you guys, and we just really love and appreciate y'all. I'm ready to go downhill on roller skates and blow this thing open. It is time that Nikken wins. It's time that we rise. It's time that we expect billions, expect a big event. Guys, it should not be a surprise we've sold probably close to 1,000 tickets now. It should be a surprise when we don't. This is expecting to win. We're not playing not to lose. We're expecting to win. If you get a 5 block, don't say, well, if I get 3, it's covered. Expect to need 10. You'll never rise higher than your expectations. Expect to be treated well in relationships. Expect to succeed in business. Expect to drive the car you want to drive. Expect to live the life that you want to live. It starts now. You get the humans being more is not just a line on a wall. It starts with who do you expect to be? We can't help you be more unless you know what you want to be. What do you want to be? This team of leaders in this call is aligned to help you get it. And this event is nothing more than a stage to feature the people that are doing it so that the people can reach out their hands and touch it and say, yes, humans being more is real. If you really want to know what this event is, it's a celebration of people coming together to put their hands on it and say, it is real. And you know why it's real? Because we're showing you proof. This is humans being more. That's what this is. And it starts now. We want to tell your story. This is about you. Thank you all for being on this Zoom tonight. I would say WebEx. I can't thank you enough. I love y'all. I'm honored to do this with some of the finest people in the world. And I'm of the opinion that in a world that's getting increasingly dark, it's awfully nice to be a part of something that's getting increasingly light. And that's what we're all about. So thank you. You know, Ben, you just had a new baby born into the world. I just looked at my chunky commando as we put him in bed tonight. And all I can think is, you know what? I can sit around and hope the world's a better place for him. But you know what? We have an ability to create the world to be a little bit place for him. You just think about that, Ben, that beautiful baby put in your arms. You're actually doing something to not only protect their environment directly, but to make the world they're going to live in a little bit better. And that's a big thing of pride, and all of you are a part of that. So thank you. Take care. God bless. And the train is leaving the station, and it's going to be a lot more fun to be on it than to see the lights cruising down the track. So this is Radio Free Nikken signing off, but we never sign out because the sun never sets in the Nikken Empire. So take care. God bless. Go get them. And guys, like they say in James Bond, the world is not enough. I don't think they've created a number big enough to capture the world's first home career. And I look forward to seeing you all being a part of it. Thanks, guys. We love you. Take care, and God bless.
This is the right time.
It ain't a bad deal. Let me stop recording here.